Hey guys, Stephanie from Mrs. D's Corner here. Today I wanted to share with you what to do with all of those sticky notes and all of that data once you've collected that data on student progress while you're doing lesson plans or you're doing the one-on-one sessions on IEP goals. However you're collecting data for your students, which you should be doing both ways, this is how I take all of my sticky notes and keep track of them and put them into the binder rings to make sure that I am servicing all of my students, meeting all of their needs, and also documenting what they're learning, when they're learning, and how their mastery towards those skills is going, okay? So I printed off last week's lesson plan. So if you want to get free lesson plans every week, you can sign up for the Mrs. D's Corner newsletter. Every Wednesday night, I send out a lesson plan sample that you could use for the following week. So this is actually last week's lesson plans. And what I did is if you have to print your lesson plans or you have digital lesson plans that you have to do for your school or your district or for homeschool or virtual school, however you have to do your lesson plans, if you have to print them out, you can print them out and then stick all of your sticky notes on the back that you did for that day. So because you already know how to take sticky data, these are just the sticky notes that I did. I just did random ones. I just did random numbers. They're not really anything specific. These are just samples. So JD is Jackson, which is my dog. SD is me, and then ZD is Zoe, which is my other dog. So these are just sample Post-it notes with data on them to show you what it would look like when you put all of your sticky notes on the back of your lesson plans. Now, if you don't print your lesson plans, which I never print my lesson plans, okay? I'm not a big fan of having to do lesson plans in the self-contained classroom or in special ed because there's so many different levels that we have to do, right? So many things we have to take care of, whether it's toileting or fine motor training, or we have kids going in and out all day for different services. It's so hard to write a lesson plan for all of those different needs, right? So what I do is I will do a basic lesson plan and submit that to the principal or admin or whoever is in charge and who wants to look at my lesson plans. I will do a basic lesson plan for them. And then what I do for me to not only cover my end of what I'm teaching my students, but also to have data to show to parents, to show in IEP meetings, to show to admin if they ever come and ask me, hey, what did Stephanie do on Tuesday? What day was it? September 29th. What did you guys actually do in class? What did she do? And how did she perform it, right? So what I do is I make one of these sheets and I printed off two of these. This sheet is editable and it's in the data collection bundle and the endless data collection bundle of data sheets or whatever it is. It's in that bundle. But basically, these are the two different options that you have, right? And so you'll put your students' names here. And then these are the days of the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then these are all of your different students. So depending on how many students, I usually print it front back. My printer here, I can't print front back. So I just printed a copy of each one. I would print it front and back depending on how many students that I have. And then what I will do is for each day, I will write down what we're doing with that child that day. So on Monday, according to the lesson plan, we did reading A to Z, right? So I will write the name of that reading A to Z book here. So I actually pulled a reading A to Z book and we read at the fair. So now I can take this data, okay, put it on this sheet. So this is for the week of 9/28. Again, this is for last week. And then I should have edited it to put the names. I'm just going to put initials. And let me show you what that looks like really quick. So I just put their initials here, but in a classroom setting, I would put the student's first name here. And then I put the date here, the week of, because I put all of these into a file folder in a filing cabinet at the end of the week. So if I need to pull all of my lesson plans for a year, so say I have a parent again, like that child the next school year, and they want to see how they did last year on XYZ. I can pull all of the lesson plans from last year when I had that student also in my classroom and be like, here's what we did, here's what we're doing differently this year, okay? So according to this sticky note, we read at the fair. So I am going to put at the fair, so Raz at the fair under JD's box. So this is Monday, and I wouldn't write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but I'm gonna do it just to show y'all. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you have all of your students. It's a little box, right? So my thing is I'm not collecting data on all of the things all of the time. So these are only things that I'm either going to collect grades on or I'm collecting IEP data on. So doing our RAS, so our Reading A to Z book every week, I am going to collect data on this if we have comprehension goals or reading goals, sight word goals, things like that. Whatever I'm collecting data on is what's on this Post-it note. Then I can also give students their participation grades or their grade, like a letter grade for that work, right? So RAS and then JD got a 3 out of 5. And then Stephanie, SD, we did the same thing. So RAS at the fair, and I'll show you what this looks like here in a second. 2 out of 5. Then we have RAS at the fair. So we all read the same book this week. If you were reading different books with your students, you had different levels of books that you were reading with your students, you would just put the name of the book there and then their percentage of how they got it. So because I don't print out my lesson plans, I'm then going to take this. So as I'm doing this data, while I'm taking this data on the sticky notes during the lesson, when I'm finished with it, I just stick it on the table, like back with my stuff, with my pens on the side of the table. The kids don't touch it. They know that that's Mrs. D's area. And I have all of my sticky notes in one place. I know where they are at all the time. So then at the end of the day, I will take them either to my desk or I'll sit back at that back table there and go through all of these and put their progress monitoring on the sheet at the end of the day. Then when I'm finished with this sticky note, I just put it on the back of this weekly progress monitoring sheet. That way, when I go to put this in the file folder and I pull it out, I have all of the data here already. So they can be like, okay, well, 3 out of 5. Can you show me your data for that? And I can be like, here you go. Like, here's my sticky note. This is the data we did. And it tells them exactly, like, we did small group or whole group. Like, they can see all of that. Now, I also will use the communication stickers, right? Or the stamps to let parents know or to kind of keep track for myself, data collection, progress monitoring, collection, all of that fun stuff. I will keep the communication stickers or use the stamps to put on the book. If we're reading the book and I send it home, I'll say we did with a teacher, we did in whole group, we did one-to-one, or these are the accommodations that we had. So then we can also look back at that work if I kept that work sample and say, okay, well, we did this in whole group, but let me pull it out, right? I have work samples, and you might even want to like star it and just put like, maybe even highlight it in a certain color and be like, okay, so I know that I have this one because for JD, because I starred it, that means I have the work sample. Let me find it, and then we can really dive in and say, okay, well, JD had these accommodations and he got a 3 out of 5 on the comprehension or whatever it was that we were collecting data on. Does that make sense? So you're gonna go through and do this for all of these. So on the 28th, and then we have the 29th, the 30th, the 1st, and then the 2nd. I also have this. We did sentence builder that day. So sentence builder, and then I wrote on the sticky note what they did. So JD did tracing, SD did cut and paste, and ZD did it independently. And then I wrote how many they got correct. So then I would go and put all of this data onto the front of this sheet and then put this on the back. Okay, same with the others. So this is what, and I'll show you at the end, what it would look like when I have finished taking all of my data for the week. It's the end of the week, it's Friday, the kids have gone home, I have a lesson plan here. This is maybe my digital lesson plan with like the basics of what we're doing, right? So it says reading A to Z, and then we're gonna read Mouse's First Fall, and then we're gonna do Fun Food Friday that has veggie pizza. That's an ELA. So, and then we have math, we have writing and spelling and science. So you might not see all of those things on the progress monitoring sheet, but that doesn't mean that we didn't do them, right? So admin has access to this, and I have access to this digitally too, right? Because I submit lesson plans digitally. But then I also have weekly progress monitoring. And the great thing about this is you can do this virtually or you can do this in person, right? You can take this kind of data in both settings. All you need is sticky notes, and then you have your weekly progress monitoring, and you can kind of keep track. You could also use this then to say different behavior aspects. So that's what all of these little circles are here for. I just do a basic overview of how that child's day went. If it was a good day, like excellent, great, then we'll do the smiley face. If it was just maybe an okay day, we had a little bit of trouble, but we also had a really good day at the same time, then I'll do like the stolid face, right? That middle face there. But if it was a really rough day, I'll do the sad face. And that also helps me track behavior data for when we come up for the child's next IEP. I can look back and say, okay, this is how we did with these different lessons, and this is how the child performed behaviorally. We also have our daily communication book that goes home to parents that we keep track of different, all of the different parts of your day, the different schedules of your day, and it maps out for them, like this is how they did, and different notes too. So I can look back at that as well. I hope this helps you out and gives you more of an idea of what to do with all of your sticky notes. Please don't throw them away. You want to keep them. But this helps, I hope this helps give you an idea of what to do with all of them, where to put them, and kind of how to overall, on one sheet per week, put all of your students' progress monitoring and grade data in one place. If you have any other questions, please reach out. I'm always here to help you. Have a great day.